Hey, what is up, YouTube? Hi, Winds EDC. I'm Alexander. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a knife review for you. But before I get into that, I kind of wanted to do a pocket check. This is actually take 2 of me recording this video. I was recording and I'm out here in the sun, and here in Lubbock, Texas right now, it's 85 degrees in the middle of fall. So that's what we get, but it overheated my phone in the middle of recording, and I think I got like 17 minutes into the review. So that's a bit of a bummer, but all's good, all's good. No dramas, no complaints. Let's do a pocket check. Front left pocket, I got my Knipex extra small Cobras. These are like little pipe wrenches or whatever you call them. And then I got my Bird of Pry tool pry bar. This comes in handy a lot. There were some vandals who went around campus putting up some propaganda on some stop signs, so this actually came in handy. Nobody had any rubbing alcohol or anything like that, so it was really hard to get off, but not me. Just went came in handy. Front right pocket, I had this in my hand just a second ago, put it in the pocket, but I got my Tale of Knives Bandit. I love this thing. I have my Fisher Space Pen in blue ink with a blue ink cartridge, and then I have my Pena X Series dog leg. This one is pretty much an everyday carry, every single day. If I'm carrying my wallet, I'm carrying this whenever I have this combination here. Front right pocket is this is a cool surprise, especially for you guys here on YouTube. I made a post about it on I've been making posts about it on Instagram, but here is my Voxnays F5.5 from Urban Supply EDC with the bronze scales and the anchor motif. I love this knife. It is just such a blessing. You can already tell. It was patinaed because I bought it on the secondary market, and the guy carried it a little bit, but he said he just wanted to fund another knife. So his trying to move up in the world of the knife game became my blessing. I was able to procure this one off of Facebook. It's got a nice patina already, especially where it comes in and out of the pocket. You can barely see it, but it's all good things, all good things. I love it. So there we go. That is the F5.5, and that's it in the front right pocket. Today's review, back right pocket, I'm carrying a in place of my regular bandana, I'm carrying a Crane's Cutlery microfiber cloth that I got whenever I purchased my Pena Knives dog leg. And that's just so if I'm showing off any knives, I can clean them off a little bit. I don't necessarily care if I have fingerprints and all that other stuff on it. It just shows that you use your knife. So what are we talking about today is the Shark Lock. Oh no, this is the Demko AD 20.5 with the Shark Lock. So let's get into it. I'm here in my backyard right now. Take 2 again. Let's just get on with it. I love this thing. My particular one is featuring karbadized scales from Instagram. Really cool dude. You should check out his work. He does carbon fiber, G10, micarta, a bunch of other cool stuff. But I really wanted some brown micarta for this thing while I'm rocking it for the winter time, even though it doesn't even feel like it's going to get close to winter anytime soon here in Lubbock, Texas. Has a brown micarta backspacer, which is a beautiful thing. Love it. The knife itself, let's just take a brief look at it, everybody. There's not a whole lot of billboarding, not a lot of branding. You can see right there it says Taiwan Oz 10A, and right here it has the Demko logo, and everything else is very minimal. I love that. I love that minimalist, because everybody knows what it looks like on Instagram because of that. The little Shark Lock profile, everybody knows what this is. So the minimal billboarding on the actual knife itself is just, it makes me gush. I love that. Hey fly. Shoot fly, don't bother me. So love this knife. Let's just get the fidget factor out of the way. I'll give it a couple of clicks for you guys. There's a middle finger flick with the thumb stud. I can't really middle finger flick it with a choil because there's no detent in it. It's not a strong detent, so if I do it from the middle finger, I have to swing it out a little bit. Totally fine. I'm okay with that. Slow roll it with the left hand, middle finger flick with the left hand. You know, can do the drop open method. So fidget, A+. I guess we'll talk more about So whenever I bought this knife, I bought it off of eBay. I hadn't quite gotten into Facebook groups or anything like that just yet. So when I bought this one $20 over the what do you call it, the table price. I was $20 for a shark lock. It may have been considered overpriced when it first dropped because of its steel, but that doesn't bother me. I got a shark lock, I got fresh scales. It's a super customizable knife, so I love it. So now let's just start getting into the nitty-gritty of it. This is the clip point version. It's got a thumb stud opening, and it also has a finger hole, a hole opening, and then of course the shark lock itself could be used as an opening method. Just look at the stone wash on this thing. Very beautiful. I like it. I've seen people on Instagram reprofile it to a hollow grind. That's in my head now. Just need to procure some funds. I might send this one off to get reviewed by somebody else. I'm not too sure just yet, but just that hollow grind would really set this knife off. Oz 10A. A lot of people I've heard have compared it to 154 CM, which is a good knife steel. Is it the best? No, not really. But for people who are in the private sector, who can sharpen their knives, who don't mind putting their knives to use, who don't mind a little bit of, I don't even know if it chips or anything. I haven't had that issue, but people who can take care of their knives should not have a problem with Oz 10A steel. It's a really good steel. I like it. I have not had a problem with it. When this knife came to me, it had a 20-degree bevel, which is fine. That's what I usually put on all of my knives. But I saw somebody on Facebook with theirs, and I saw somebody on YouTube with theirs, and they had theirs to a 17-degree bevel. So that's what I did. I ended up taking mine to a 17-degree bevel with my Work Sharp Precision Adjust Elite system. And now it's a slicey tank. Behind the edge, it's kind of thick, so that's why that hollow grind would really take it to the next level for me. But the steel itself has been really good. This is one of those steels where I've been keeping it a lot in my front right pocket, but it has not done any of the rusting that all of my other knives do. So that's cool. Yay, another W. As far as actuating everything, it's good. Now I want to take a little sidestep and talk about the warranty services of the Demko Knife Bros. The reason why is because whenever I was fidgeting with it a while back ago, I noticed something, and I kind of posted it on a Facebook knife group. And what was happening was whenever I'd come up here, or whenever I'd choke up on the knife, this is how I use this knife a lot of the time. So when I was using it like this, I was cutting into something, and then all of a sudden I felt like maybe I had actuated the shark lock, but I didn't touch it, and I thought it was going to close on my finger and that I would cut myself or something like that. Turns out it had lock rock, and it was rocking real bad. And so I posted a small clip to the Facebook, the Demko Knives Facebook group, and everybody was like, "Whoa, that should not be happening, man. You should probably email somebody." And some people were even suggesting how I should fix it myself, which I can take this knife apart, but whenever it comes to actually messing like with the factory parts and stuff, I start like the factory hardware. I don't fuck with that. This is me, sorry. So anyways, they were really nice. I sent the email to their info email address, and I think John Demko was the one who was communicating with me. He just said, "Hey, look, it's been happening." I said, "I bought it on the secondary market. I've disassembled it. Is that going to void my warranty?" Like, that's just kind of how I am. I like to take things apart. I like to clean them and assemble them. He said, "No problem. It's been happening to a lot. Send it back. We'll get you a new shark lock in there." And they did. And so now I have zero blade play back and forth, no lock rock or anything like that, no side to side play. Fantastic. That works for me. And so just big huge shout out to those guys. Their warranty work is really amazing, and from what I recognized on the Facebook knife group, John Demko himself I think said they only have 3 people in that whole warehouse who are in charge of fit and finish and a bunch of other stuff. So they really are working really hard, especially for, this was made by a different OEM, especially correcting the OEM's error, I would assume. but either way, great on the warranty. That is A+ for me. So now we'll get back into the ergos of the actual knife. Right here, one thing that I heard and one thing that I saw Metal Complex posted on his YouTube channel, which is a really good insight. He's got a good eye. I never would have caught it, especially since I don't have a custom. But the finger placement for the handle is almost the exact same on the customs, and it's almost the exact same on the compact version of the custom. So this is the production model made in Taiwan, which is super cool. I don't really mind that kind of stuff, but as far as the finger grippage right here, it is the exact same in this area. I don't know about this area right here, but in this area, it's the exact same across all of those customs and this production knife. That's very wise attention to detail as far as the knife makers and the John and Andrew Demko. Super cool. That's very smart. These guys know what they're doing. So now I know if I ever want to go into that custom level with like a 20 CV or a D2 version of the custom, I know that my hand placement is going to be roughly the same, but I'm just going to have more knife on either end. That's okay with me. I don't mind a larger knife for my small hands, but right now this is perfect for me. Okay, so that's ergos. And I've mentioned this part before, especially on my Spyderco Shaman review. So there's a middle finger flick. Middle finger flick, my finger goes right here. I choke up right here behind the shark block on the finger choil, and then I can kind of move my thumb forward if I need to cut into, like, get a bigger purchase on whatever I'm cutting. And I love that. Now that I've noticed it, I can't stop. It's the same thing with my box nails. So I middle finger flick it, and my index finger goes right to the choil, and that's really smart. So I love that about this knife. Disassembly is really fun. I've disassembled this knife more than I've disassembled any of my other knives, except maybe my, no, this is it. I think this is the one that I've disassembled the most. And it's super easy. Make sure that you don't, make sure that that spring doesn't come flying out. And so now that I've mentioned the spring, here's what I'm gonna tell you. It functions very similar to how my Benchmade Anthem functions, wherein, if you can see inside, it's on a coil spring that pushes the axis lock forward, okay? And this is probably the best version of the axis lock that I can imagine, because of that coil spring offering that constant forward tension on the actual slide lock. And that's a similar concept to what's going on inside of here. It's a small coil spring pushing the shark lock forward, and you pull back and up in order to disengage the lock. And honestly, it's better than the axis lock, because all you need is one finger, whereas sometimes on the axis lock, depending on your axis lock, so like I have this bug out with the custom Flytanium brass scales. With this one, I can't just, I mean, I can do one finger, but it's uncomfortable. I have to have both fingers, and it keeps your fingers out of the cutting path, and that's fine, that's great. Something like this one protrudes out a little bit. This is my Benchmade Osborne. You can see the axis lock protrudes out much more. So I can one finger close it. This one's kind of, I've tightened the pivot on this one. But you see, two fingers, but if I do one finger, that's just one finger, and that's the thumb, I can disengage the lock. With this one, just one finger, and that's a beautiful thing. As far as cutting performance, the Oz 10A has done really well for me. I like it a lot. I don't mind it. The 17-degree angle is working for me right now, and that's a beautiful thing. I have this stonewash. Oh yeah, no wait. Okay, so the pocket clip does not bother me, and I'm glad it doesn't bother me, because I see people who are like selling out of the deep pocket carry clips that are being featured by Lynch Northwest, and they sell out real quick, or they're in those god-awful anodization ones. And I don't have a problem with anodization, but if I'm going to do it, I want raw. I want it to be raw and stonewashed, so that way it's just unassuming for the most part. But I love the pocket clip because it slides in and out of the pocket with ease. If I'm wearing blue jeans, if I'm wearing cargo shorts, or like chino shorts or something like that, like this thing comes out real nice. So let's do some size comparisons of this Shark Block. Did it again. Of this Demko AD 20.5. Let's put it up against a fan favorite, the Benchmade Bug Out, and I'm going to do pivot to pivot. As you can see, the Shark. This is a very comparable size, even though the AD 20.5 is a little larger. So I'm gonna put it heel to heel. You'll kind of see. There's that. Tip to tip. Some things off on the end. Sorry, the lanyard might be getting in the way, but that's okay. This one might be another comparable one. This is the Osborne. You guys have seen this one. There's pivot to pivot, and honestly, it is looking roughly the same. When you do pivot to pivot, there's hilt to hilt, the bottom of the bottom. This is a very comparable size as far as blade length and handle length and all that good stuff. So if you guys have a Civivi Elementum, I gotta adjust the camera, guys. Got a little bit of wind coming in. You can see it behind me right here. Here's a Civivi Elementum. If you guys own this one, pivot to pivot. Then I got ass end to ass end, dump truck to dump truck. So that's good stuff right there. I like this knife. This is a really good one. It's for Spyderco fans out there. Let's see the Shaman. Shaman is going to be much larger. So there's that for you guys. Pivot to pivot is right here. And these are two Ergo Fiends. Besides my Boxnays, I had never really experienced terrific ergos. This is a perfectly ergonomic knife for me. This is a perfectly ergonomic knife for me, as well as the Spyderco Shaman. These are just ergonomic beasts. And then once again, Benchmade Anthem, coming in at roughly the same size. As far as blade to blade, it's roughly the same. So yeah, guys, there's that. What else do we have here? I wanted to talk about the backspacer just a tad, and the reason why is because for a while there, Karbadized was not doing the backspacers for the AD 20.5 until very recently, but now he has the flat spacer, but he also has the geared spacer, which would be like this. It's got a similar texturing to the original. And the reason why I'm showing you this, the reason why he wasn't offering the backspacers, in my opinion, I don't know, I can ask him in an email or something like that. We're not friends or anything like that. So what's going on right now is in this one, you'll probably barely be able to notice, but there is a D shape. On this one, you can see it's right at the top, on the top side. They are a D-shaped hole. I found this out whenever I would try and tighten these down, and the other side is free spinning. So if you put on some of these carbidized scales, this is just for a carbidized review, not necessarily for the Shark, for the Demko AD 20.5. If you're gonna put the backspacer on, it's gonna be free spinning. Whereas the pivot itself is not free spinning. It does not spin in place. It sets where it needs to be. But these will, and even on the clip too, they might free spin if you're unscrewing it from this side first. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, a couple more clicks for you guys. I really love this knife. I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of it unless I upgrade to a custom, and even then I don't know, because with the customs, you know, he offers, you know, titanium scales, G10 scales, some Grivery scales, and that's all fine and dandy, but I love micarta. I am a micarta fiend right now, even though I only have 4 knives out of micarta. You know, the pinion knives, dog leg, and then I have 2 more inside the house, but for the most part, this is the overview, the High Winds EDC overview of the Demko AD 20.5 clip point version. Would I get the shark's foot version? Yeah, I think I would. So that way I can have 2 sets of scales. Flytanium is supposedly supposed to be coming out with a titanium set, maybe even a little bit more micarta, maybe some contoured micarta. Who knows? Because they've been doing amazing things, especially with like their mini Osborne micarta scales, their crossfades on the Benchmade bug out, sorry, everything's spacing on me. Their Lotus scales with the PM2. They're just like really trying to up their game, whereas first they would just had flat slabs like this one with a little bit of contouring on the edges, you know, making sure that all that stuff gets knocked down so you don't have any sharpness. And that's just shows innovation, shows customization and ability to do stuff like that. So that is awesome. All right, guys, I think that's honestly all I have to say as far as this goes. You guys have a very beautiful day, and hopefully I'll be seeing you again soon, maybe with a review of the F5.5, maybe with a couple of reviews of some other gear that I've been using, such as these pliers. I have these, and then I also have the 5-inch. So these are the 4-inch, and then I have the 5-inch with the button compression, button lock thingy. These are just kind of, I don't know what you would call these, but love them. Anyways, guys, y'all have a blessed day, blessed week. I'll try and keep on coming to you guys with some more content, but you know, God be with you all.